Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. Again, an early jump on this Wednesday slate with two more NBA playoff games. Game 5s as the Celtics are leading the Cavs 3-1, heading back to Boston now. And the Thunder tied things up 2-2 now with the Mavs, and they head back to Oklahoma City. I've got 5 looks for this between these two games. Some early looks here. Got to wait for that Donovan Mitchell news, obviously, in Cleveland. And then also Jared Allen might play in that one. Everybody a go for the Celtics, but want to be aware of that stuff. So there's some interesting ways to play that early, but also want to stay on top of those injury reports. I'm going to have the live stream early on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to run that. Looking at a few more bets at that point. Hopefully we have a bit more news, but I'll at least be able to get a bit more with that Mavs and Nuggets game as well, I believe. But for now, let's get into these early plays for Wednesday. You cannot stop me from betting on this little same game parlay for the first quarter with Jalen Brunson and Jason Tatum. It's just going to keep running back because right now Jaylen Brown has hit this number of 5+ points, which I'm combining with Tatum's 6+ points, both in the first quarter. Jaylen Brown's hit this in all 5 of his games this playoffs. He's hit this number 84% of the time this season, and this now makes 6 times this playoffs that this bet has hit because Jason Tatum has hit 6 points in 6 of the last 9, but he's hit in the last 5 because he didn't play the whole first quarter for the majority of that Miami Heat series. The last game of the Heat series, he played all 12 minutes in the first quarter and every game in this series, and that's when he's hit the majority of these bets, right? He's hit 5 in a row because he's been playing the entire first quarter. So even though Jaylen Brown gets going really, really early, bullies people to the basket and takes at least 3 to 4 shots, plus some free throws and a couple of those threes, he's able to get his work done in the first 9 minutes, take a breather, and then Tatum takes over. And usually Tatum and Brown have both hit this by like the 5-minute mark in the first quarter. So I'm going to keep going back to it because we keep getting about even money for this. So Tatum 6+ points first quarter, Brown 5+ in that first quarter as well. Gets you -105 on your money. Another Celtic bet going under for Papa Al Horford. We did this last game. Got to go back to the under here. It's only 1 fewer than it was in game 4. 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined for Horford. Under that gets you -115 on DraftKings. His minutes are down. I mean, they were down in game 4, and I think that game 3 where he played a lot of minutes was a pretty big mistake. We saw Cornette get out there really early in the game. Al Horford has been the first dude off the floor and on the bench for this starting lineup, and I think you'll continue to see that. It's a big reason why. I mean, it's not the reason why he's missed from 3, but he's had fewer 3-point chances, only about 3 threes per game in the last 3 games of this series. He's only hitting at basically like a 12% clip this series from the from deep. 18% of his shots are catch and shoot, and he's just not getting the usage anymore. He is still pulling them from the corners, but you can tell it's only because he has to keep the flow of the offense moving. As far as the rebounds go, 48% rebound chance success rate there, 20% on contested rebounds in terms of the actual rebounds he's pulling down. So when he's contested against guys like Evan Mobley at this point is his main matchup since there's no Jared Allen. If Jared Allen was in, I would feel just as good, if not better, about this bet. And I don't know that Jared Allen's going to be right for this series at any point. So wouldn't count on that, but it's still for Papa Al. Has not done this very often this series. Only 1 game. Actually none this series, excuse me. I should be clear. Under in all of the games this series, fewest touches and usage for that starting lineup. So he's really out there at this point as a big body to sort of get in the way of Evan Mobley, but he's not pulling down those rebound chances when the two of them go at it in a contested rebound situation. So I don't feel good about that. The assists are only there by luck. He's at about 3.5 potential assists per game. So not really worried about that contributing. Likely to go under once more on the assist prop, which is now really low, but that's still an 18.5 PRA combo for him. I think we're going to see plenty of Luke Cornette to keep him under 18.5 tonight on Wednesday night. My apologies to anybody who got this Max Strus bet up when I didn't know about the Donovan Mitchell news. If you are in the Discord, which the link is in the description of the video, then you probably were aware that we immediately about-faced on Max Strus and went and hit actually over on his threes in this last game. And I'm going back to it with a half a unit right now because it's at +20. And in the event that Donnie Mitchell doesn't play, this is an absolute lock for me. And the half a unit is good enough right now to win a little bit more back because it's +120. So I didn't want to miss out on this number here and these odds. That's why I got in a half a unit early. I do think this will go, will lose the juice. It might stay at 2.5, even might go up to 3.5 if Donovan Mitchell is officially ruled out. But it's a 15-point spread for the Celtics in this game, indicating that they don't think Donnie is going to play. If Donovan Mitchell is playing, this is a lot closer to like 11.5, maybe 12.5. But the 15.5 number that it ballooned to for this spread doesn't make you think that the books believe Donovan Mitchell's going to play. So do with that what you will, but we'll wait till we see his status tomorrow. Going to get back on this on the live stream at 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. but Max is too crucial to the 3-point offense and the offense in general when Donovan Mitchell's not on the floor. When Mitchell's out there, obviously he's got the ball in his hands, he's taking pull-up stuff, and he's distributing, but not that often. Donnie's definitely taken more of just a scorer's role, especially in this series, trying to single-handedly keep this team alive. If he's not available, they got to find shots in other places, and there's a lot of shots to go around, like 25 to 30 shots available without Donovan Mitchell. Some of those are going to go to Strus. He took 12 shots in this last game. 9 of them were from deep, so obviously I like the threes better for the plus money than just the points. And he's gone over this 2.5 threes made in 5 straight without Donovan Mitchell this season, averaging 8.3. Well, and that dates back to the regular season, but still, in the last 5 games overall, now it's 8.3 3-point attempts for Strus in all the games that were missing Donovan Mitchell. So for him to go 3 for 8 is actually a little bit below what he would normally do. He's been a really good 3-point shooter this year when called upon. And if you look at the games without Donnie Mitchell as well, 35 minutes per game, still hitting this number in about 12 of 18 games without Donnie. But now you've got him at 42 minutes. That's what he played in game 4. And I would definitely say he's at least 40 minutes, good for at least 40 minutes in game 5 if there's no Donovan Mitchell. So keep an eye on the injury news for Donnie. But for right now, I'm still good with a half a unit on Strus at plus 120 because he could still hit it. He's just likely to, if Donovan Mitchell plays, he's just likely to see about 6 3-point attempts as opposed to 9 or 10 if there is no Mitchell. One more similar play here, Darius Garland over 19.5 points. That's even money. Taking that for half a unit as well, because I don't want to miss out on those odds in the event that Donovan Mitchell doesn't play. That's why we got a half unit on for Garland right now. We could see this go up. If Donnie's not in, then you've got to assume about 25 points or so for Garland is still a good bet. He took 27 shots last game, and I don't see that number going down very much, maybe 23 to 25 in this next one, but they're going to need him to carry this team to the effect that Donnie Mitchell carried them when he was out there. He had the 30 points last game, took 13 threes, only made 4 of them because he's been struggling from deep in these playoffs and especially in this series. But still, if you look at the amount he was taking before, 6 threes in the per game prior to this in the playoffs. Now he's at 13 in the one game Donnie goes down. So, not a very good percentage, but if he hits 1 more on 13 attempts, I think this is all good for him to keep going back to it. I mean, he did this during the season, 21 points per game without Donovan Mitchell versus 16 with him on just 1 more shot. So you can expect the usage to continue to stay at about 30% for Garland, even higher around the Donnie Mitchell 35% if Donnie's not in. So we'll come back to this bet, I'm sure, and talk about it some more on that live stream at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. But for now, this is a good bet before we even have the Donovan Mitchell news. Finally, we're going to get one bet in for that Dallas and OKC game, and then I'll be putting a few more out there in the Discord, and we'll get to that on the live stream 4 p.m. Wednesday. But for now, we got to go with Josh Giddey under, man, because I don't know how long Coach Dags can do this, right? His PRA is at 11.5, and that's with him playing about 5.5 minutes in the first quarter, and then the rest of the game he sees about 6 to 7 minutes max. And he does not play, by the way, in the fourth quarter. In last game, he stepped on the floor for 3 seconds, just to sort of be there in case they got fouled. He's a better foul shooter than the other dudes they had on the floor at the time, so they wanted him out there for the foul shots, but that's the only reason. Like, he barely played in the third, barely played at all in the fourth. And the reason is he is far and away got the worst plus minus on the team. He's a minus 5.5 per game when he's on the floor. I don't know why Daigneault would keep conceding 5 points every game by just having Josh Giddey on the floor. It's by far the worst on the team. Second worst is minus 1.7 is the next worst player for the Thunder's plus minus that they have for each of these dudes on their squad playing in the series. Aaron Wiggins, who's the dude who gets these minutes when Giddey's not out there, alongside Kayson Wallace, but Aaron Wiggins a bit more, plus 5 on this team in this series, which is second best to Chet Holmgren's 5.8 plus 5.8 when he's in the game per game this series. So that is such a huge difference. It's a difference of 10 points essentially. And I know it's not apples to apples. You can't just say, oh, well, Wiggins is a plus 5, Giddey's a minus 5. So, Wiggins is 10 points better. But this team has proven to be 10 points better this series when Wiggins is on the floor over Giddey. So even the 12 minutes that he played last game could continue to go down. He hasn't played more than 16, and that was in game 1. Everything else was 10, 11, and 12 minutes. So I got to keep going under for Giddey on sheer volume. Like, he did hit a few shots in the first quarter last game, but minus those, like, he was under last game, and he's well under without going 100% basically in the first quarter. So I'm still under Giddey. We'll see if he even plays the 12 minutes, but I don't think we need to worry that all of a sudden he's going to get a bunch more time and that we should be worried about going under for him. And that is all the time that I have for you guys in this one. Another reminder about the Discord, link is in the description of the video, which is rolling on the bottom line, as you can see. And then as far as the props.cash here, I wanted to make clear to you guys, 25% off the first month if you do use code LYB24. That's the tool that I'm using the most on the live stream and my one-stop shop for getting everything I need to make these bets on one platform. So highly recommend it if you haven't tried it out yet. But like I said, we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for that live stream, a little bit early than normal. So come get it with me in that live stream. And until I see you then, happy betting.